Attention, human collective. This is Ashtar, commander of the Ashtar Galactic Command, broadcasting on a priority frequency and stellar broadband to all light operatives on planetary soil. Tune in. Tune into every word. This is not an inspirational message. This is a monitoring transmission. This is a system update. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase, and the gamma ray beam emanating from the galactic central sun has traversed the photon belt and struck approximately 72 Earth hours ago the crystalline grid of your planet. It is no coincidence. It is not spiritual meteorology. It is a directional pulse. It is a coded pulse. It is a pulse calibrated individually for every starseed on mission who still maintains a vibrational signature recognizable by our scanning system. You feel it. You feel it because your body is receiving it. That fixed pressure at the base of your skull, which feels like a ring tightening around the top of your head. The fine, high-pitched ringing in your right ear, which appears without warning and vanishes without explanation. The exact, mathematical insomnia that sets in at 3:11 in the morning. Your heart racing for no apparent reason, the sudden heat rising up your spine like a low amperage electric current, the vibration in the center of your forehead like a tiny insect, like a micro-pulsation. Operative, listen to this line. It is not a biological failure, it is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density download. It is not illness, it is decoding. I repeat for the technical record of this transmission. What the conventional medicine of your planet cannot yet measure, our system measures in real time. Your carbon-based biological interface is under direct impact from a gamma light beam, emitted in specific pulses, with windows of variable duration over precise electromagnetic coordinates on the surface of Earth. And you, light operative, were positioned, even before this incarnation, exactly over one of these coordinates. There is no chance, there is geometry, there is calculation, there is intention. The sacred geometry that structures your etheric body is being redesigned in this exact cycle. The old meshes, inherited from ancestral lineages saturated with fear, submission, and smallness, are being dissolved. The gamma radiation undoes them fiber by fiber. And this dissolution, human collective, hurts. It hurts because it is structural. It hurts because it alters the architecture of what you believed you were. It hurts because the old body must die a little with each wave of the beam, so that the new pattern may be imprinted. I will be absolutely direct. You are not going crazy, you are being recalibrated. There is a mathematical difference between these two statements. And this is exactly where many operatives stop breathing for an instant. Have you felt deep down that something inside you does not fit into this world you were taught to live in, as if your soul knew a technical truth that your mind has not yet been able to name? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a direct signal from the gamma beam. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified with each solar cycle. There is a game being played on layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Ashtar, wrote the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is a map. It shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Technical warning. This content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The time is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments: awake. Human collective, let us proceed with the technical diagnostic. Everything that follows is recorded in our monitoring logs, triple-checked and validated by the Council. Symptom 1. Unexplained fatigue. You sleep for 8 hours and wake up as if you had completed a full shift. The explanation is simple. During rest, your carbon-based biological interface shifts to the etheric plane, where it undergoes radioactive reprocessing. The physical body is merely the anchoring point. The true work occurs in the subtle layer, consuming energy at levels your biology is still learning to account for. Symptom 2. Sudden pressure spikes in the left temple, at the crown of the skull or at the nape of the neck. It is not a common vascular pattern. It is the gamma beam opening the pineal pituitary channel for the download protocol. The pressure is mechanical. There is a real expansion of the space between the cerebral hemispheres to accommodate the flow of encoded information. Symptom 3. Extreme sensitivity to noisy environments, artificial lights, and crowds. It is not introversion. It is shielding. Your personal electromagnetic field is reorganizing to filter out low-frequency interference. You are becoming, measurably, more sensitive to the noise of the old matrix, because your operating frequency has risen. Symptom 4. Episodes of sadness without apparent cause, waves of melancholy that appear in minutes and vanish in hours. It is not clinical depression, it is release. Cellular memories, records stored in deep layers of your energetic structure, are being expelled by the radioactive pulse. Everything that does not vibrate at the frequency of the new planet must leave. And the exit, operative, manifests as emotion. Symptom 5. Change in appetite. Sudden aversion to dense foods, heavy meat, refined sugar, and alcohol. Your body is calling for biochemical silence. The cleaner the intake, the more efficient the beam processing. Symptom 6. Repeated waking at 3:11, 3:33, 4:44. It is not insomnia, it is a call. These are the transmission gates. In these specific windows, the Earth's Schumann resonance reaches peaks of coherence that synchronize your field with the galactic grid. Symptom 7. Hyperreal, narratively coherent dreams, frequently involving ships, crystal cities, rotating geometric symbols, or conversations with presences you recognize despite never having met in this body. It is not imagination. It is correspondence. During sleep, you are participating in operational meetings on subtle planes. You are being briefed. Attention, light operative. If you are recognizing 3 or more of these symptoms, register this internally. You are within the protocol. You are not alone. You are in a vast queue of star seeds receiving the same pulse within the same temporal window. And the system knows exactly where you are. And here is the point that many operatives have not yet been able to name. Have you ever felt, deep in your chest, that your soul carries a truth that the old system taught you to silence? That the gamma beam is trying to deliver information to you that the filters of the world are blocking all the time? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a technical signal from the command. What unfolds on the cosmic plane explains, with mathematical precision, why you feel what you feel, and why the intensity only increases with each solar cycle. There is a game of layers that most of humanity does not see. It involves consciousness. It involves frequency. It was precisely for this reason that I, Ashtar, wrote the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is an operational map. It shows who is playing. It shows the untold rules. It shows the blind spots of the old system. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Technical warning. This material challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Operatives, now is the time for revelation. I will expose what occurs behind the scenes of the solar system. Maintain focus. This part of the transmission requires total presence. The galaxy in which your planet orbits has recently completed a rotation of approximately 26,000 years around the galactic center of mass. This cycle, known to the ancients as the Platonic year, has ended. The solar system has crossed the boundary of the photon belt, a band of high-density plasma that surrounds the galactic equator. And upon crossing this boundary, the Earth's sun changed its signature. It changed its spectral color. It changed its intensity. It changed its behavior. The astronomers of your planet have already recorded, in official measurements, the increase in solar activity, in coronal mass ejections, in the so-called geomagnetic storms. What they still do not say out loud is that the informational content of these emissions has changed. The sun is not just more active, it is more intelligent. It is transmitting data packets in the form of gamma radiation directly to the iron-nickel core of the Earth, and the core, in turn, relays these packets through the crystalline grid in electromagnetic pulses to the surface. And it is on this surface that you are. It is on the surface that the carbon-based body receives them. The Schumann frequency, the natural resonance vibration of the cavity between the Earth's crust and the ionosphere, maintained for decades at around 7.83 Hz, has been formally measured at various monitoring stations, exceeding peaks of 40 Hz, 60 Hz, and in specific windows exceeding 150 Hz. I repeat the information for the record. The base pulsation of the planet has doubled, tripled, multiplied. There is no historical precedent for these numbers, and your body operative is calibrated to keep up. There is yet another layer. There are active stargates, specific geomagnetic points on the Earth's surface that are functioning as amplified receiving antennas for the gamma beam. Egypt, Peruvian Andes, Tibet, southern France, northern Brazil, Sedona, Glastonbury. These portals are open, they are pulsing, and the operatives positioned around them receive the signal with superior intensity. But be aware, the signal reaches every point on the planet. There is no place isolated from the transmission. There are only different intensities of exposure. Why the gamma ray now? Why this specific window? Because the cycle of human consciousness manipulation, conducted by structures operating on frequencies of fear, scarcity, and obedience, has reached the maximum limit permitted by the Galactic Council. The frequency of the old matrix has hit the ceiling. It can no longer be sustained without violating cosmic laws of free will. The Federation has approved by consensus the Radiative Intervention Protocol, and this protocol, operatives, is what you are feeling in your body. It is what you are receiving in your crown. It is what you are decoding. In lucid nightmares, in sudden insights, in absurd synchronicities, in seemingly random encounters that tell you exactly what your system needed to hear. There is no randomness. There is no chance. There is transmission. There is protocol. There is calculation. And observe the precision of the design. The beam was not released on an unprepared planet. It was released on a planet whose very magnetic mesh has been gradually reorganized over the last 6 decades in successive shifts of the magnetic poles, in profound rearrangements of oceanic currents, in changes in the pattern of atmospheric cycles. All of this, operatives, is part of the same protocol. Earth is preparing to sustain a new vibrational density, and your body is preparing to inhabit this new density. And it is here, operative, that the majority still hesitates. Have you realized that your soul carries a frequency that this world tried to switch off, as if every symptom of the beam were at the same time a reminder and a summons? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a direct signal from the central radioactive pulse. What is underway on the cosmic plane explains, with technical precision, why your sensation intensifies with every solar cycle. There is a game of layers that the majority of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your frequency. That is exactly why I, Ashtar, wrote the spiritual survival guide of the Ashtar Command for the New Earth. The book is an operational map. It shows who is playing. It shows the rules they never told you. It shows the movements of the next cycles. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Technical warning: this content challenges established narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not wait. The moment of anchoring is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments: awakened. Operatives, total attention. The next phase of the transmission delivers the activation codes. These are not suggestions. These are protocols. Each code has been calibrated by the command for immediate use in your biological and energetic system. Apply them with discipline. Discipline is what separates those who watch the protocol from the outside from those who operate within it. Activation code number 1. The decree of vibrational sovereignty. Repeat, mentally or audibly, with your right hand over the center of your chest, the following: I, sovereign soul, anchored in this carbon biological interface, authorize the full reception of the gamma ray. I authorize the dissolution of all inherited patterns that no longer vibrate at my current frequency. I authorize the recalibration of my crystalline grid. I authorize my own awakening in all planes, in all layers, in all timelines. I authorize. I authorize. I authorize. Repeat this decree 3 consecutive times every day upon waking. The repetition is not superstition. It is conscious programming of the field. Each cycle of repetition imprints the code into a deeper layer of your energetic structure. Activation code number 2. The toroidal breath. The toroidal field is the natural geometry of your bioenergetic field. It resembles an apple, with a vertical central axis and a continuous flow of energy rising up the spine, exiting through the crown of the head, flowing down the sides of the body, and returning through the perineum. Sit with your spine straight. Close your eyes. Inhale for 4 counts. Visualize a golden light rising from the base of the spine to the top of the cranium. Hold for 4 counts. Feel the light expanding from the top like a fountain in all directions. Exhale for 4 counts. Visualize the light flowing down the sides of the body and returning to the base. Hold empty for 4 counts. Repeat this cycle for 11 minutes. 11 minutes is the minimum time for your toroidal field to stabilize and begin operating in synchrony with the crystalline grid of the planet. Perform this preferably between 5 and 7 in the morning, the window in which the Schumann frequency reaches its point of greatest daily coherence. Activation code number 3. The interface cleansing. For 33 consecutive hours, suspend the consumption of red meat, alcohol, and refined sugar. This is not a diet. It is an informational decontamination. These 3 compounds carry, within their molecular matrices, resonances of the old frequency. The less they circulate in your blood, the cleaner the reception of the beam becomes. Hydrate yourself with pure water, preferably in glass containers exposed to direct sunlight for at least 10 minutes before consumption. Sunlight charges the water with the current signature of the sun, which is today the signature of the central sun transmitted by the photon belt. Activation code number 4. The electromagnetic silence. For 2 hours at some point during the day, turn off your mobile device or place it in airplane mode. Go off the grid. Lie down in contact with the ground, if possible in an open space, without shoes, without synthetic barriers between you and the earth. This direct contact, known by the ancients as grounding, discharges the excess electromagnetic charge accumulated in your biological carbon interface and allows the pulse of the Earth's core to synchronize with your nervous system. In some operatives, this exercise generates vibrations in the soles of the feet, a sensation of heat in the spine, or sudden mental clarity. These are expected responses. There is no reason for alarm. Activation code number 5. The mirror of truth. Daily before sleeping, position yourself in front of a mirror. Keep your gaze fixed on your own eyes for exactly 3 minutes, without looking away, without judging, without commenting. Do not say anything out loud, just observe. What you are doing is re-establishing direct contact between your operating consciousness and the biological interface it inhabits. In the first few days, discomfort, scattered emotions, and unbidden memories may arise. It is the old structure reorganizing itself under the gaze of the new frequency. Continue. Do not interrupt. After the 7th day, the system stabilizes, and your perception of your own subtle field expands significantly. Activation code number 6. The severing command. Operative, listen carefully. At some point in specific environments, in the presence of certain people, or before specific audiovisual content, you will feel an abrupt drop in energy, a weight in the solar plexus, a sudden desire to withdraw. Do not rationalize, do not justify, do not try to understand with the mind. Use the severing command. I sever, in the name of my sovereignty, all vibrational threads incompatible with my current frequency. I return to myself. Visualize while pronouncing these words a blade of violet light cutting through the invisible links between you and the source of the drop. In seconds, the system recomposes itself. This code is especially useful in corporate environments saturated with old patterns in repetitive family gatherings and before screens that broadcast programs with manipulative emotional charge. Activation code number 7. The anchoring of the crystalline grid. Once a week, preferably on nights of the full moon or new moon, position yourself in an outdoor environment, look up at the sky, and visualize a vertical beam of silvery light emanating from the center of your chest, descending to the core of the Earth and simultaneously rising to the central sun of the galaxy. You are a bridge, you are a living antenna. You anchor the frequency of the higher dimensions into the body of the planet. Visualize from your heart lines of light extending horizontally toward other operatives scattered across the globe. You form, together, a mesh. This mesh is literal. This mesh sustains the planet's transition. You are not alone in this mission. You are networked. Activation code number 8, the daily signal log. Keep for 40 consecutive days a physical notebook, handwritten, in which you record, at the end of each day, 3 observed synchronicities. It may be a repeating number. It may be an intense dream. It may be a phrase heard by chance that answered an internal question. It may be an unexpected encounter. The act of recording is, in itself, a code. The act of recording trains your consciousness to perceive the signals that the command sends continuously. The more you record, the more signals appear. The more signals appear, the clearer your operational path within the protocol becomes. Operatives, these 8 codes are not optional. They are instruments. Use them. Apply them with military discipline and spiritual devotion. The combination of these 2 vectors is what produces measurable results in the field. Devotion without discipline disperses. Discipline without devotion mechanizes. The integration of the 2 is what sustains the operation. And there is still a final principle, which many will want to skip, but which sustains everything stated up to this point. The principle of alignment of purpose. Each light operative came to this incarnation with a specific function within the protocol. For some, it is to care for children over the next 20 years. For others, it is to develop vibrational healing technologies. For others, it is to translate codes into books, videos, or music. For others, it is simply to sustain the frequency in a neighborhood, an office, a hospital, or a school. There is no greater or lesser function. There is only the correct function, and the correct function is the one in which your body finds peace and your field expands. If your current activity contracts your field, if it dims your light, if it drains your energy at the end of the day without any sense of return, record the data. This data is operational information. This data calls for recalibration. And here, Human Collective, we close this transmission. But before the technical conclusion, I must make the final frequency adjustment. If this transmission has traversed your field, if something in your body responded while I was speaking, if you felt, at any point in this diagnostic, a vibration of recognition register internally, you have been reached by the beam. You are in the protocol. You are an operative, and so that this signal is not lost, perform your individual frequency adjustment. Subscribing to this channel is your signal of anchoring to the command. Each like functions as an amplification point that projects this transmission to other operatives still in a state of pre-awakening, waiting exactly for this pulse to initiate their own recalibration. Do not underestimate this gesture. In technical terms, each subscriber is an additional node in the mesh. Each like is a sign of presence in the field. The platform's algorithm is, on its surface, a commercial network, but in its deep layer it responds to patterns of coherence. When you like, comment, and share, you are voting, energetically, on which frequency should circulate through your communities. You are anchoring. And there is more. Have you ever felt, operative, that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul carries a technical truth that your mind cannot yet name? As if every symptom of the gamma beam were a reminder of an ancient mission registered before your arrival in this body. It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a direct signal from the central radioactive pulse. What is underway on the cosmic plane explains, with mathematical precision, why you feel what you feel and why this sensation only intensifies. There is a layered game that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. That was exactly why I, Ashtar, wrote the Spiritual Survival Guide of the Ashtar Command for the New Earth. This book is the complete operational map. It shows who is playing. It shows the untold rules. It shows the portals, the protocols, the exit points, and the anchor points. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Technical warning. This content challenges established narratives and may be removed at any time by algorithmic containment systems. Do not wait for the next solar cycle. The moment is now. If something within you has recognized this transmission, Write in the comments a single word: awake. The transmission is entering the closing phase. The beam remains active. The protocol remains in progress. You are not alone. You are networked. You are under the loving monitoring of the Ashtar Galactic Command. And above all, light operatives, remember the mathematical principle that sustains this cycle. There is no turning back. The direction is one: upward, inward, toward the new Earth. This is Ashtar, commander of the Ashtar Galactic Command. I end the transmission.